It's so incredibly helpful, and I'm so happy that it still works. I'm so happy this is still a good tip to share. Last time I helped photo users, this time I'll be helping out video users. So once again, if I knew nothing about Sony alpha cameras, these will be the 7 settings that I wish someone would have told me about. And these are going to be compilations of mistakes that you don't want to make, mind-blowing tricks, and the least talked about features that will really improve your user experience.
Noisy straps.
And before we begin, you're going to be seeing 2 different menu screens. One is the newer 2.0 menu system, and the other is the older 1.0 menu system for those who haven't transitioned to the newer models yet.
Tip number 1.
If you are a video user, then you're going to want to pay attention to this, because every year I see a sob story post about how this one setting ruins someone's footage. Turn off HDMI info display, and you'll find this option in the yellow briefcase tab in both versions of the menu. This setting is on by default on some Sony cameras. If this is left on, when you use external recorders to record all that juicy 12-bit ProRes RAW like an Atomos Ninja monitor, this setting will display your camera user interface instead, and when you hit record, you're going to be recording your camera screen. This is what we call a dirty HDMI feed, as opposed to a clean HDMI feed.
A dirty HDMI feed.
And while our video brethren Clyde here did it intentionally in this example because he prefers to see the camera user interface on his monitor, at least once a year I see someone asking in Facebook groups or on X how they can salvage their Atomos footage from a wedding shoot. And I just shed a tear for them because they did not watch our Jason Vong video. But hopefully with this video, less people will make this mistake.
Because you really can't go wrong with Jason Vong.
Yeah, damn right. Wait.
What do you mean, wait?
Who said that?
Not me.
Tip number 2.
Did you know these Sony body and lens caps can do more than just protect your body and lenses from dust? Well, neither did I, but apparently it can help you nail accurate exposure and white balance. These gray color caps are similar enough to these 18% gray cards, which is a handy tool in photography and video.
Really fun to play with.
What is an 18% gray card, you might ask?
An 18% gray card provides a neutral reference point that is neither too bright nor too dark, making it ideal for determining the correct exposure and white balance.
Okay. Thank you so much, whoever you are.
You're welcome.
So if you don't own one or forget to bring one to a shoot, these official Sony caps are helpful in a pinch. Head to one of your custom white balance slots and hit set. Place the cap in front of the box and then press enter. And now you should have the perfect white balance.
Tip number 3.
Alright, do me a favor and get your camera out right now and head to the last tab. In power setting options, auto power off temperature, change it from standard to high.
That's an obvious tip. Everyone knows that.
Seriously, where is that coming from? Anyways, yes, to my Sony veterans out there, I know this might be too obvious of a tip, but I promise you, it still happens to new users every day. Now, if you're someone who does a lot of continuous long recordings, like 1 to 2 hour video podcasts, this setting is important to change to high because it raises the camera's internal heat limit. In standard, it's designed to prioritize the camera's safety and will turn off the camera at a lower temperature threshold to prevent overheating. However, in high, it allows the camera to reach a higher heat limit before shutting off, allowing for longer continuous recording time. The camera will still shut off once it gets too hot, but now it should last way longer before that happens. Fair warning though, the camera body will get hot, so this is best recommended for cameras on tripods. But if you're constantly doing long hours of 4K recordings, then it's best to go with the FX3 or the FX30 models, as they have a built-in fan to help keep the cameras cool. Before we move on, I just want to take a quick break to thank our sponsor of this video,
Jason.
Artlist. Artlist?
Thanks, Jason. I'll take it from here.
Wait. Who are you?
I'm one of the many voices generated by Artlist's new AI voiceover feature.
But you sound so...
Sound so what, Jason?
You sound so...
Real? That's because I am real, Jason.
No.
Let me explain.
Go for it.
Artlist's AI voiceover feature is fully customizable.
What?
To get the exact voiceover you need, including emotional range.
You have so many voices.
Similarity to original.
Why is there so many voices?
Or add a bit of style boost.
That's right.
What?
There's even a handy page which you can preview the entire voice catalog.
Perfect for solo creators who's looking to spice up their production value.
You hear that, Jason?
Spice up their production value, Mr. Vong.
Oh my God.
Or an easy way to convey mood,
and point to their clients when building their project treatment.
Especially useful before your project goes into production.
These exclusive voices are voiced by professional actors and covered by the Artlist license.
If you're already subscribed to Artlist Max, this will be included in your plan at no extra cost.
But it's also available standalone via the voiceover plan.
Where can your lovely viewers go to learn more, Jason? Jason?
Huh? Oh, they can use the link in the description box below?
Use the link in the description box below.
Vivian? Vivian, I think I'm hearing voices!
Yeah, go cry to Vivian. Tip number 4.
All right, stop me if you find this too relatable, okay? You ever get that perfect framing and that perfect action and you're just drooling behind the screen thinking you just nailed your shot? And then your heart starts to sink when you hit the record button thinking that you're stopping the recording, but you actually just triggered the recording. Yeah. And while this will happen 100 more times over during our career, the best thing that we can do is lessen the chances of it happening. With the new Sony 2.0 menu system, there's an option in shooting display called Emphasize Record Display, which enables a big red border, making it more obvious that you're actually recording. If only more cameras would do pre-roll buffer, where it can save the last 10, 20, 30 seconds as a video clip when you press the record button. But until then, let me know in the comments down below your heart-sinking story about missing the shot. Sorry, 1.0 menu users, this might be a bit exclusive to the 2.0 folks. I was gonna tell a story about Ted, but I don't want to embarrass him.
Tip number 5.
For my 2.0 menu folks, if you're someone who always shoots in 10-bit 422, then you might want to pull out your camera for this. In every single format, in every single frame rate, change your record setting to the highest bit rate right now. And this includes the one in S and Q mode. Even though you might be someone who always shoots in XAVC SI, the highest quality possible, there might be a day where you decide to change things up to save on some space, but you still want all of your 10-bit goodness. Or even capture and playback slow motion in real time, and this would be the first time ever you ever try S and Q mode. And the last thing you want to do is to capture your clips in 8-bit 420. And trust me, we've learned this the hard way. Just because you said 10-bit 422 in one format doesn't mean the other formats will follow suit. And it's just better to have it at the highest quality possible because you can always size down your video, but you can never size them up.
Super thanks.
Before we move on to our last 2 tips, if you found this video to be incredibly helpful or any videos that we've done in the past to be very helpful, then consider a super thanks donation.
That'd be great.
But the best thanks that you can always give is some exposure bucks. And you can do that by simply watching more of our videos, which I have a handy playlist linked right up here for you to queue up.
Exposure bucks! Tip number 6.
To my longtime viewers, I'm gonna have to level with you, okay? I know this seems like a cop-out tip, and it is. But I promise you that there are still a lot of newbies out there that still don't know about this well-known secret, and that is clear image zoom. So clear image zoom is a feature on Sony cameras that allow users to zoom in on their subject more, beyond the optical range of their lens, without significantly losing image quality. It's different from your standard digital zoom because clear image zoom uses Sony's secret algorithm and advanced digital processing to enhance the footage. When shooting in 4K with clear image zoom, you get up to 1.5 times extra reach with any lenses. For example, I'm using the 24 to 70mm lens here on my Sony a7C-R. I'm at 70mm max zoom, but I think I want a slightly more of a tighter framing. So I will use clear image zoom, which I have a shortcut programmed to the trash can button here, and zoom in more, giving me a 105mm full frame field of view equivalent. Now this works with prime lenses as well. Clear image zoom kind of turns them into zoom lenses. And if you have a full frame camera, you can actually combine APS-C Super 35 mode with clear image zoom for even more of a reach. And now I get a 157.5mm full frame field of view equivalent, again with no huge quality loss. And you'll find APS-C Super 35 mode in the first tab of both menu system under image quality. For clear image zoom, you'll find it in the first tab under the zoom option in the 2.0 menu system. For my 1.0 menu users, you'll find a zoom setting in one of the pages on the second tab. Now, disclaimer for A7S III, FX3, and ZVE1 users. These specific cameras do not have APS-C mode in 4K. However, you can still use APS-C lenses with these cameras and use clear image zoom to zoom out of the vignetting.
Tip number 7.
If you're someone who uses manual-only lenses, like a lot of these Cine lenses here, get ready because I'm about to blow your MF in mind. MF as in like, manual focus, but motherfucking mind.
Yep, we get it.
So you know how you would normally use focus magnifier and peaking to help you nail focus? In video mode, you can only enlarge up to 4 times. It's not much, right? However, when you switch to photo mode, your focus magnifier can actually enlarge up to 12 times. And because the focus distance is set on the manual lens instead, your focus distance remains the same when you switch back to video mode.
Actually, that is a good tip. Mind-blowing, in fact, Jason.
Now to get this set up, you'll find Focus Magnifier in tab 1 under Focus Assist in the 1.0 menu system, and in the purple AF/MF tab under Focus Assisted in the 2.0 menu system. But to make things easier, you can always program the Focus Magnifier to one of your custom buttons. Just make sure it's the same button in both photo and video mode. For Focus Magnifying Time, choose No Limit. And for both menu systems, on the same page, you'll find peaking as well, which enables color lines that help you easily achieve focus manually. Again, programming a peaking shortcut in your quick function menu will help you quickly enable and disable it. And what would also help is to set your aspect ratio in photo mode to 16:9 to help keep similar framing. And if you didn't separate your photo and video settings, meaning when you switch to photo mode and it will retain all the same parameters as what you had in video, then you can just hit the record button without switching back to video mode, so long as you have the movie button settings set to always. Now, there will always be a slight delay in the initial recording because it has to switch mode, but it's incredibly handy if you're constantly adjusting focus. Though, keep in mind you're back to being limited to the 4x enlargement while you're recording video.
And if you haven't caught the photo version of settings Jason wishes he knew sooner, you can click up here for it.
Vivian! Vivian, the voices are back!
Jason!
The voices are back!
I'm only saying that you can click up here for it. Jeez!
So those were Jason's 7 tips, folks.
Don't forget to check out Artlist AI voiceover.
Thanks so much for watching, and Jason will see you guys in the next video. Peace.